I had dreamt of my wedding day since I was a girl. But never in a million years did I imagine that on the first night of my marriage, I would be sitting on the edge of a luxurious hotel bed, trembling, scared, not of my husband, but of what came next. His name was Jack Parkar. Even saying his name felt like honey melting in my mouth. Tall, confident, and quietly intense, Jack wasn't the kind of man who had to demand attention. It followed him naturally. From the day we met, there was something about him, like his presence had gravity. And yet, even though I had married him, worn the diamond ring he gave me, and walked down the aisle with the world watching, that night, I was frozen. The suite was lit with soft golden lamps and smelled faintly of roses and vanilla. I sat in my wedding dress, still flawless after the hours of dancing, laughing, and kissing relatives I barely knew, and stared at the door of the bathroom where Jack had disappeared minutes ago. The room felt too quiet now, the laughter of our guests just a distant memory. My heart was thudding so hard, I could hear it. Why was I scared? Was it because it was all happening so fast? Or was it because this wasn't just about a kiss or holding hands anymore? This was the moment when we were truly supposed to become one. I heard the soft click of the bathroom door opening. Jack stepped out, dressed in dark pajama pants and a white tee that clung slightly to his toned chest. His messy dark blonde hair was damp from the quick shower, and his eyes, oh, those eyes. Sharp steel blue. Watching me. Reading me. He didn't say anything at first. Just walked toward me slowly and knelt in front of where I sat. "You're quiet," he said, his voice low and soothing. I swallowed hard. "I'm nervous." He didn't smirk, didn't tease me. Instead, he took both my hands in his and pressed them to his lips. "Cara, you don't need to do anything you're not ready for. You're my wife now, and that means I'll wait as long as you need." That should have calmed me, and maybe it did. But part of me hated the idea of making him wait. I wanted him. I'd always wanted him, but I was scared of not being enough. "I want to," I whispered. "I really do. But it's like my body is panicking even though my heart isn't." Jack stood, still holding my hands, and pulled me gently to my feet. He wrapped his arms around me and whispered against my hair, "Then let's just be together. No expectations. Just us." I let out a shaky breath, nodding. He slowly unzipped my gown, the fabric sliding off my body like falling petals. He didn't rush, didn't stare with hunger or lust. Instead, his eyes softened with admiration, like he was seeing me, all of me, and accepting every inch. Standing in nothing but my lace slip, I reached out and pulled his shirt up, my fingers brushing the warm skin underneath. His breath caught. That gave me courage. He guided me to the bed, and we lay down side by side. Not touching, just looking, sharing slow, intimate glances that said everything our lips were too afraid to say yet. "You're so beautiful it scares me," he said softly. "And not just tonight. Every day since I met you." I turned to face him fully. "Do you remember the first time we met?" Jack smiled. "Yeah. You spilled iced coffee all over my shirt at the art gallery. And you still asked me to dinner," I whispered. Because I knew, right then, I wanted you to be the last woman I ever kissed. The heat between us began to grow. Not the kind that screamed urgency, but the slow-burning kind. His fingers grazed my arm, leaving goosebumps in their wake. My skin burned under his touch, but not from fear. This was desire. Anticipation. He leaned in and kissed me. Gentle at first, then deeper. His hand cupped my cheek, and I tilted toward him, letting our breaths mingle. I let my fingers trail down his arm, over his chest, resting against his beating heart. "Still nervous," he murmured against my lips. I shook my head. "Not anymore." We moved together like a slow dance, exploring, discovering, laughing quietly when we bumped noses, breathing harder when the touches grew bolder. Every kiss, every stroke, every look Jack gave me told me one thing. I was safe. Desired. Loved. We didn't need candles or roses or dramatic music. The magic was in the way he held me, like I was everything. Later, when the room had grown quiet again, I lay on his chest, feeling his fingers tracing patterns across my back. The sheets were tangled around our legs, and the glow of the moon poured in through the windows. "That was beautiful," I whispered. Jack kissed my forehead. "It was real. That's what makes it perfect." We stayed in that bed for hours, drifting between sleep and soft kisses. I told him my childhood dreams. He told me his fears. We laughed at nothing. We held each other like the world might end if we let go. Morning sunlight filtered through the curtains, casting golden ribbons across the sheets. Jack was already awake, propped up on one elbow, watching me sleep. "Good morning, Mrs. Parkar," he said, brushing hair from my face. I smiled, heart fluttering. "Good morning, my husband." We spent that day wrapped in each other's arms, exploring the city like we had no responsibilities. He took my hand in crowded streets, spun me in the rain when it started to drizzle, and kissed me under a willow tree in the park like we were in a movie. The next night, I wasn't nervous. I wanted him completely. And every night after that, I wanted him more. Jack Parkar taught me that love doesn't start with fire, it starts with trust. It blooms in the safety of a partner who sees you and stays. Months passed, then years. People still asked us the secret to our marriage. We always said the same thing: our first night. Not because it was wild or perfect, but because it was real. And every time Jack kissed me, even 10 years later, I still felt the same heat, the same peace. Because I was once scared, but he relaxed me. And everything was beautifully, tenderly, and perfectly done.